All right, this is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today, we're going to talk about personal development and some of the personal development tools. Well, first of all, there's many personal development tools, but what I would recommend is number one, semen retention. We talk about semen retention on this channel, and that basically means that you don't ejaculate for a certain period of time. And we recommend that you go at least 30 days without ejaculating at all as a personal development tool, just to see how far you can take it, just to see how disciplined you can be to do that which is uncomfortable, to do the things that you actually feel like you want to do it, and then you choose not to. Because the reason why this is a personal development tool is because it'll prepare you for the times when you're supposed to do something when you don't feel like it. Let's say, for example, you want to build a business. In order to succeed in business, you have to be consistent at all times and in all places every single day in order to achieve your goals. But sometimes you just don't feel like it. You don't feel like doing it. That's a problem. That means that you'll never be able to build a successful business if you don't do things that you don't do things simply because you don't feel like doing it. So semen retention helps you on that path to get to the point where you're actually practicing discipline and focus, even though your feelings and emotions are telling you to do elsewise. So after you've done 30 days, you move on to 90 days of semen retention, because then basically things have normalized, and so that's a very good personal development tool that I recommend. It also makes you very happy as well, just so you know, because the sperm production and the retention of that sexual energy just simply makes you happy. Number two tool that I've used in my life for personal development is reading. Leaders are readers. That aspect it's been a huge thing in my life in terms of actually reading, because I don't know, I must have read like probably 100 books or more, and that's where a lot of the things that I teach on this channel comes from. And I would say the reason why books have so much power is because you are standing upon the shoulders of the giants of the past generations, which basically means that these guys have actually had like massive life experience, and they have been curious and basically tried to learn principles that actually work, and then they've strategized it and then put it into a book for you to read it. The cool part about books is that instead of them sharing their life experience and what they've learned throughout their lives, they put it down in a book so that they don't physically have to be there. So it becomes a passive income for those thought leaders. When they put it down inside a book, you're basically getting the crisp of the things that thought leader was thinking about. And when you get that into your brain, then you can actually start applying the truth, the principles, a lot more easily. You don't have to figure out everything yourself. You can actually get the experience of other people. This shortens down the time of you trying to do research and you trying to figure out everything all on your own. So people who actually start, a business or start trying to figure out life, and they refuse to learn from other people, it's not a very wise strategy. You want to make sure you have the strategy of reading and applying the things that you read, because if you don't, it's just going to be a waste of time. You're going to basically have the trial and error way of doing things, and that's going to take a long time. So, which books should you be reading? What I recommend, in order for you to grow with personal development, you have to read books that actually focus on personal development. If you just read fiction, if you read Harry Potter, if you read, you know, Twilight or stuff like that, you're not going to grow. You're not going to personally develop. So what I would recommend for you to read, a good one would be people skills books. So today I recommended one of my clients to read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And I also recommended him Skill with People by Les Giblin. Another book that I recommend a lot of people is Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Another one would be, for example, the book by Jim Collins, Good to Great. So these are just some of the books that I've read that I'd like make a massive difference in my life. Another one, oh man, they just keep popping in here as I talk about it, because these books are insanely well written. The last one I'm going to mention is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and also The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. So as you can see, these books have like transformed the way I think about life. And instead of reading 100 books, which is what, you know, when people start a personal development quest, they start thinking, oh, I want to read all these books. No, choose a few books and read them 10 times. Choose these books and read them 20 times. Because if you understand those classics, if you understand those books, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, of course, how could I forget? If you read those 10 to 20 times, you will be further ahead, further advanced than a guy who reads 100 books one time. So, that's the second personal development tool. A third personal development tool would be, let's say, for example, exercise is a personal development tool. People who exercise are happier. People who exercise feel better about themselves. People who exercise actually get more things done because they're disciplined, they're focused, and they get their body into action. Very often we just need our bodies to be in activity for there to be progression in our lives. So let's say we just combine all these three. You've got semen retention, you've got reading books, and you've got exercising. All of those things are going to help you in the right direction. But it's not enough. You've got to take action in other areas of your life as well, and that includes, for example, starting a business. I want to focus a lot more on business and passive income over time on this channel. I know we talk about semen retention, but very often people practice semen retention without having a goal, without actually putting the energy that they get from their sexual energy into practice. And we need to put things into practice for things to work. Actually, we need to put things into practice into all those three categories. With semen retention, if you don't have a goal, if your goal is only to manage 90 days of semen retention, it's not enough. It's not a goal. You have to set a goal that's outside of semen retention so that you can channel that energy that you get from semen retention into that specific goal. So that could be exercising, that could be starting a business, that could be whatever you want. And in terms of reading books, I came to a point maybe a couple of years ago where I was like, I've just read too many books, and I had come to a point where I simply needed to take more action. And that is what happened. I actually stopped reading books at one point because I just wanted to apply what I had learned. So, as you can understand, it's not enough to use these personal development tools all on their own. You've got to use them for something specific. And that something specific is helping other people. Life is about helping other people, guys. It's all about helping other people. The way that you achieve joy and happiness in this life is to reach out to other people and help them to understand that you actually care about them, that you actually love them, that you actually are curious about them, how they feel, how they experience life, and their opinions and their life experience. You want to know those things, because when you do good to them, they will do good to you. When you're curious about them, they'll be curious about you. when you actually trust them and have confidence in them, they'll begin to also have confidence and trust in you. And as we all know, the quality of your relationships will determine the quality of your life. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you again tomorrow.